Hi, this psychology skill is on cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the backbone of changing your life. And the reason for that is it is the correct way to create change in your life. So the incorrect way, or the way that's not going to give you good success, is when we try to change our behaviors. So you have the thought, that person is such a bitch, or that, guy's an asshole. And then you try to be nice to them because that's how you think you should be. It actually will come off as inauthentic. You will struggle with your relationships. You'll struggle to have healthy relationships. And really, you're going to be fake in the world when we try to change our behaviors without changing the emotions or the thoughts. And the same thing goes with when you're trying to overcome any addictions or creating changes in your personality. We can't change our personality without changing the core of our thoughts. So that's why we do cognitive behavioral therapy. So our first kind of part of this lesson is most people assume, sorry here, right there, right there. Most people assume that emotions are caused by events or situations, but the cognitive model, which is what we're introducing here, suggests there's another intervening variable responsible for how we feel, and that is our perception. Okay, I'm gonna just share this so you can come on in here with me. I'm gonna give you an example of, that's our feeling wheel. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, we're gonna use that at some point. Right now, though, we're going to just focus right here. And yes. Okay. So I'm going to pull up a color. I'm a fan of green. That's my go-to. So if we were in session, I would say pick a color. So in your mind, imagine whatever color you like best. Okay. So a situation is neutral. All situations are neutral. All the meaning every situation has is the meaning you've given it. So by changing the meaning, we completely change the experience of the situation. So situations are neutral. But when we're wearing lenses that say we're unlovable, we have a connection and we make now thoughts related to that situation. And those thoughts, if we're wearing lenses that say we're unlovable, those thoughts are going to be attack thoughts towards ourselves, attack thoughts towards others. And that's going to cause negative emotions, unloving behaviors towards self and others, and physical sensations. So we're going to give you an example, and let's roll with that. Okay, so you go to the grocery store and you see someone from high school and you're like, hey, how's it going? And you say Maggie or Bill, and you say hi to them and they put their head down, they keep walking. And you're like, what an asshole. What a bitch. I can't believe they did that. That's so rude. Or maybe we have the thought, oh my God, I'm kind of embarrassed. Like, I hope nobody saw me calling them out and then them ignoring me. Or we have the thought, well, it's because I'm in my pajama pants. I'm not enough. They're judging me. They're judging my hair. They're judging me that last time they saw me, I had hair and I don't now. If we will attach all kinds of meaning to other people's behavior, basically. So we either perceive that they're bad, they're not enough, or we're bad, we're not enough. And that's the images here. Okay. Just so we stay on track, we're just going to do one at a time. So that's our images. All right. And then that's going to create emotions within us. So the emotions we have, where did our feeling go? It's right here. It wants to come. I know it does. Okay. There's our emotions. So the emotions that come up when we have that situation happen can be of many things. So usually it's going to be fearful, angry, disgusted, or sad. So anger, fear, and sadness are the three big emotions. So this feeling will help to build the emotional intelligence for you to start being able to see what you're really feeling. Sometimes people can't find the thoughts that they have. They just have the feelings or they have the behavior. Sometimes they skip the feelings and they just go right to the behaviors, like being shut down. But then deep under the behavior of shutting down is fear, like anger or anxiety, right? Of I'm not enough or I'm overwhelmed or they don't care about me. I'm disrespected, right? But there's always a thought underneath that as well. So to find our thoughts, sometimes we can use our emotions, but in this example, we have the thoughts first that I'm not enough, I'm not lovable. And then, so let's pick some of these out. So maybe in that moment, you're feeling rejected. Oh, I gotta get my green thing back on here. Maybe you're feeling rejected. Maybe you're feeling exposed. You're yelling in the store, hey, and they're ignoring you. Maybe you feel humiliated or disrespected. Maybe that made you feel aggressive or like critical of them. Maybe you felt judgmental of them. Maybe you felt they were being judging of you, right? So maybe that was some embarrassment. Maybe you felt disappointed or vulnerable, victimized, abandoned, okay? Powerless in that situation. So you might have been feeling a whole array of things, probably not happy unless you have healed mental health. So that's kind of some of the emotions that we might be feeling. So identifying the emotions is the second step here. Okay, I can move this out of the way. Come on, you can go. There you go. So happy. He's so happy to move. All right, and we're gonna go back to our colors. So those are emotions, okay? So you're gonna have emotions that are negative, anxiety, sadness, anger, okay? And then behaviors. So the behaviors that we have when we have the thoughts that are unloving, then we have the emotions that are unloving, then we're gonna have behaviors that are unloving. And they are gonna look like attack behaviors towards self and others. So maybe when you go to the checkout lady, you slam the stuff down on the counter and she says, how are you today? And you're like, I'm fine. You don't ask her how she is. You're just miserable. You pack your bags aggressively. Then when you get home, the dog's on the way, you kind of kick it away, or you don't say hi to your spouse, or you give them attitude, or you don't call your friend back and respond to, reaching out from other people. Just really unloving towards others, and then you're also going to be unloving to yourself or usually both though in some capacity. Some people are more likely to self-abuse than to attack other people. Some people are more likely to project their pain outwards and attack others over self-abuse, but most often we lead with some form of self-abuse, and self-abuse comes in many forms. So examples of self-abuse would be overeating, undereating, Netflix, or like going on a Netflix binge. So watching a Netflix show is that's not abusive. Probably watching 4 or 5 in a row, that'd be a form of self-abuse. Excuse me. Unless you're sick in bed, then that's maybe loving. Um, Getting on TikTok and get like stuck in mindless scrolling. That would be another example. Gambling, gaming, pornography. Those are all examples of self-harm. Gambling would be a financial self-harm. Shopping as well, spending money that you don't really have, that can be a form of self-harm. And then we also have chemical um, self-abuse, which would be getting drunk, drinking, getting high, using substances to numb the emotions that you're feeling. So that night, going out and getting high or drinking some beers or having a glass of wine, and just isolating because you feel bad. So those are some examples of some of the behaviors you'd have. So attacking towards other, attacking towards self. And then physical sensations, we also are going to be identifying what you're feeling in your body when you're being triggered. And the reason for that is when you identify what you're feeling, it can help you to skip ahead a little bit and actually to initiate for you to take that breath and calm yourself down. So in this moment, when he or she ignored you, maybe your heart started to race, maybe you started to sweat, maybe you start getting flush, and maybe you get fidgety. Everyone's kind of got their own kind of way that they express. So consider, what do you do when you're physically what do you do what physically do you experience in your body when you're psychologically triggered? Okay. That'll build emotional intelligence and give you a clue of how to be able to get out of this. So this whole experience, so the thoughts, they're jerk, I'm not enough, they're judging my clothes, maybe they're judging me because I liked their partner in high school and they didn't like that, so they're still holding a grudge. So we make even stories up. Then we have the emotions that are going to be negative, like anxiety, anger, and sadness. Then we have behaviors that are unloving to ourselves and others. I think Canadian behaviors has a U in it, but we're rolling with this one. And the physical sensation is how you feel in your body. So this experience here, this whole experience is separate from this one. Okay. So the actual situation is neutral, and then we've attached meaning. Now, a couple days later, you get a phone call and you find out that You know, Bill or Maggie's spouse was killed in a car accident with their youngest child. And you you instantly, your heart fills with compassion for them. And you think, oh my gosh, there must be in so much pain. And you think back to how they didn't respond to you a few days before when you and they had maybe just found out about this accident. Why they're in the grocery store, I don't know, but maybe that's how they were coping. Um, and and then instantly all of this experience disappears because you shifted to compassion. You no longer it was no longer about you. You no longer took it personally. And this is going to be the key to getting out of our struggles is to be able to see the innocence in others, to release them. And that's why um and that's how we can use CBT to change. So we've incorporated the healed mind therapy thoughts. So we have some little bit of focus on the theory of what makes somebody happy, what makes someone peaceful. And I'm going to tell you the core of that is forgiveness and love. Okay. But we're going to start applying it to cognitive behavioral therapy